Rajdev.
Present, sir.
Very good. Dr. Suparna Murkute.
Present, sir.
Dr. Amit Kabande.
Present, sir.
Dr. Archana Mahakalkar.
Present, sir.
Dr. Vinod Dongarwar. Dr. Arvind Sobdathe. Dr. Shruti Gharade. Dr. Pallavi Deshmukh.
Present, sir.
Dr. Meenakshi
Sir,
Kamble.
Neetu Amlani present, sir.
हाँ कहाँ पे था मैं? डॉक्टर पल्लवी देशमुख.
Present, sir.
डॉक्टर मीनाक्षी कांबळे.
Present, sir.
डॉक्टर शील.
Present, sir.
Dr. Shil, today you must be
Present, sir.
happiest. Dr. Shil, today you must be happiest person. Your guide is presenting in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vivek Manik.
Present, sir.
Dr. Rajesh Sonkusre. Dr. Rajesh. He is yet to join. He must be busy preparing his own seminar. Dr. Vishal Davlatkar.
Present, sir.
Very nice. Dr. Swati Yadav. Mr. Karketa.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Ms. Kani Mozi.
Present, sir.
Dr. Shikhawasti.
Present, sir.
You will have to handle today's proceeding.
Yes.
Dr. Thakare sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure your presentation?
Yes, I am altogether ready.
You are almost ready, na? Anyway, just let me give a very brief introduction.
Yes, sir.
Doctor-
Very nice.
Dr. Mahendra Thakare, today's invited guest speaker. He is holding the post of Associate Professor and Head of Dr. Khatri's institution at Chandrapur, affiliated to Gondwana University, Gondwana. He is very young, active, energetic chairman of Board of Studies in Environmental Science. He is handling all the academic affairs of the Board of Studies single-handedly. Recently, he has played very important role in framing the syllabus of environmental science of Gondwana University, Gondwana University, Chandrapur, under the National Education Policy. Today, he has decided to deliver his presentation on the various aspects of the sustainable development. So, my dear participant, you will find his presentation very interesting. So, I would like to welcome Dr. Mahendra Thakare on behalf of our UGC HRDC Center affiliated to RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur, in association with Sevadal Mahila Mahavidyalaya Research Academy, Nagpur, and on my personal behalf. Now, I would like to request Dr. Shikhawasti, please go for further proceeding. Dr.
Okay, thank you,
Shikhawasti.
sir.
Yeah.
A very good morning to one and all present here. It is my absolute pleasure and honor to introduce our distinguished resource person, Dr. Mahendra Thakare sir, in our refresher program organized by UGC HRDC Nagpur University, Nagpur. Sir is an associate professor and head in Department of Environmental Science in Dr. Khatri Mahavidyalaya, Tukum, Chandrapur. He has been the member of Board of Study in Institute of Science, Nagpur in 2022. He was the chairman of Board of Studies in Environmental Science, Gondwana University from 2012 to 2023. Sir has 21 years of teaching experiences and 3 assistant professors got PhD under his guidance. He was visiting faculty in the Center of Higher Learning, SP College, Chandrapur. He was the member of selection committee for the appointment of assistant professor in Maharashtra Udayagiri College, Udayagiri, and Kamla Nehru College, Nagpur. Sir has published 49 research papers in reputed national and international journals. So it is our privilege to have you as a resource person, and we are eagerly waiting an enlightening session ahead. May I request to Dr. Mahendra Thakare, sir, to please share your knowledge and experiences on sustainable development. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, a very warm good morning to all of you. I am very much happy here that I got this opportunity in this college, in this reputed college in Nagpur University. First of all, I would like to thank the Honorable Principal of this Sevadal Mahila Mahavidyalaya Nagpur, Dr. Praveen Charde sir, for organizing such a beautiful event. And most importantly, I am very much grateful and happy to say all of you that the most dynamic person in RTM Nagpur University Nagpur, and especially in environmental science, Dr. Praveen Meshram sir, is the only person in this particular region basically who is handling the environmental science in Nagpur University. I'm also very much thankful to Dr. Shikha, I think Shikha Avasti, for a very brief and nice introduction about me. Friends, without wasting time, the most discussed and most necessary subject in today's era, that is the sustainable development. I think most of the people, they might have discussed various aspects of this particular sustainable development, but I would like to add certain new things in that, because what happened if sustainable development is itself a degree course, it's not a single topic, it is a part of a degree course, means you can have a degree in sustainable development. Most of the foreign universities, even some Indian universities also department, they are having this particular course MSc in sustainable development separately. But what happen when we say certain component and discuss about that component, we must know that the umbrella is there. So environmental science, it is an umbrella, and below that umbrella you will find lots of and variety of the subjects. Okay, so it depends upon the universities and department. So what are their objectives, what are their aims, what are their goals, and what they want to achieve out of all that curriculum. That's the important thing here to discuss. So dear participants, now let's discuss this particular topic, the sustainable development. Okay, so this is the topic. As I already discussed, my name is Mahendra Thakare, and I am teaching this environmental science since last 20 and more years in Gondwana University, Gadchiroli, and formerly we were attached to the RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur also. So I am not a different fellow in this, but I am the part of RTM University, Nagpur. Okay, so before going into the details of this subject, basically in every talk, wherever I got this opportunity to deliver a lecture in any refresher courses or for any students, I never miss this opportunity to say about my subject, that is environmental science. So participant, listen carefully how this particular subject has been designed, okay, nicely, and what are the aim of that particular subject is there. Just listen. It is simply in simple word, the environmental science anybody can define. It is the study and the processes, in air, water, soil. Am I audible to all of you, sir? Na? Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
If certain interruptions are there, you can directly call me. So it is
Thakare sir, you are audible.
yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. So it is the study and processes in air, water, soil, and organism. Nextly, which lead to pollution. See how that construction is there, which lead to pollution or environmental damage. This is the first part of that definition. Then, and to know a scientific basis for establishing a standard. See how the construction is there, and to know a scientific basis for establishing a standard, okay, which can be acceptably clean and healthy for whom? To human being and the ecosystem. To human being and the ecosystem. So three parts in these definitions are there. Firstly, we are study the processes in whatever I have discussed: air, water, soil, organism. Then secondly, we are knowing the scientific basis behind that. Okay, this is the science, scientific basis for establishing a standard. Whenever I say the word standard, always know when you say the word standard. So anybody from participant, how in simple word you can define or say about the standards? Anybody? Just in a simple word, so that I can continue. If not, I'm going to describe. So this word, when we say the standard, so anything which satisfy the quality and quantity of that particular product or the things, means we are setting a standard for environmental science where we want the quality first and then the quantity also. So the standards are there, standards for water, air, and all that. So it must satisfy the qualitatively as well as the quantitatively, means the quality must be good, at the same time we must have the desired quantity also. Both things are interdependent on each other. So this is the definition and the construction of the environmental science. Okay, so I think you might have understood all these things regarding the definition. If you have any doubts in between, you can interrupt me. You are free to ask me question in between, no problem at all. Then what happened? The second is the what is the working level of environmental science. So is it my slides are moving? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So working level of environmental science. So see there, what is the working level of environmental science? The working level of environmental science means, say again, there are two types of level we have designed here. So what is that two types of level? Here we work theoretically as well as the applied, in applied way. So theoretically, firstly, this subject, the approach of this subject is that firstly we identify a desired or the known or the unknown problem. See things, just observe the things. The problem which may be known or which may be unknown, no problem at all. So theoretical view is we are identifying a certain problem. Okay. So this is the first approach. So after identifying the problem and going to details regarding the various states and all that, we go for the applied aspects. Applied aspect. We are suggesting a technical solution. See the word, the technical solution, the scientific solution. It may be social solution, or it may also have a political solution also. Okay, just remember, just a political solution, economic solution also for the problem which has been identified. Okay, so we are actually suggesting or we are finding the solution for that problem. So this is the most beautiful aspects of this environmental science, and I am very much happy that within these 20 years I found lots of changes in the curriculum, the in and around we can find the changes You might be observing the rainfall pattern nowadays within this month. So that particular rainfall pattern which were not observed the past. Now we can observe such type of drastic changes. Okay, so there are various reasons. I will not go into the details of that. So basically the changing world. Yeah, I'm talking about the changing world. Whatever the present situation is there, you grab that present situation. So that would be the identifying the problem first. Then you will be going suggesting the required solution for that. So this is the working level of environmental science. I think at this level, I'm in a position to say the solution for that, the working level of the environmental science. Okay, shall I move further? Okay, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Next, see, you can see this particular picture. What you can observe? Very nice picture. Somebody is holding the earth and greeneries can see. Some overlapping is there, sir. Somebody's mic is on. Okay, thank you. So this is we are protecting and we are trying to protect the precious earth. Okay. Then it's a part of the sustainable development. It's a part of sustainable development. So I would like to define this particular sustainable development also. And many of the speaker, I think, they might have also defined this sustainable development. Sir, my voice is repeating. Hello, Meshram sir. Hello.
Sir.
Yes, it's okay right now. But my background, I can hear my voice again and again. Is there some problem?
No,
Okay.
sir. No.
Now it is
Okay,
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 sir.
okay, okay. So sustainable development. So firstly, without in going into details about the actual definition of the sustainable development, what we would like to see sustainable development. So when we say sustainable development, it is in simple word, it is said that the utilization of all resources on the planet Earth in a wise manner. See, utilization of all resources on the planet Earth in a wise manner. Okay, and actual definition as designed by the Broadland Commission in 1987, you know very well, that is the development, you know very well, the development which satisfy the aspirations and the need of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their resources. Means in simple word, we have to keep aside or we have to preserve the resources for our children. So that's the meaning of the sustainable development. Got it? Okay, so we have to preserve the precious resources for the future generation. This is the beautiful message by this particular given by this commission and through the definition also. Okay, see, you can see the figure nicely on your screen. The three circles. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So three circles you can see here. See minutely and very critically, you just observe this circle. What has been written there? Three circle they are included. Okay. So first circle, the top circle you can see here, the environmental, a viable natural environment. A viable means which is a current one, okay, which is a progressive one, and which is in a present condition. So that is a viable natural environment. Okay. Then what we would like to do this sustainable natural and built environment. Again, the most important thing is sustainable, natural, the natural environment which is not a disturbed one, and a built environment that is the anthropogenic or the environment which has been built by the human being. That is the built environment. Then the immediate sustainable development, this is the core aspect. So not only the environment is required, but for environment to survive, see, for environment to survive, what we need the input from social community. Okay, nurturing community. If we are not in a position to nurture our people, basically, instead of saying the community, the people I am saying, the people are a human being. What will happen? He is the only person who can build up a natural environment also, who can keep the natural environment in its original parent condition, and who can also build the new environment also. So social aspect is the important aspect or the integral part of environment to survive. Then the most important part is equitable social environment. So starting with the social environment, equitable, the meaning of equitable means you are required to share all the resources on the planet of on the earth equitably. Means each and every person on this planet earth, you can observe the 184 or 194 countries are there. Each human being, it is a part of environment, and he or the she has got the right to use the resources for his or her need, basically. So that is equitable, equal distribution of resources for all the person. And the most important part where and most discussed part is sustainable economic development. If economic development is not good, if the economic condition of any country is not good, you see the catastrophes in neighboring countries of the India. What is the condition, or the in most of the world, basically in African countries, the certain regions are there where economic condition is not so good. In our condition, in our country also, we are struggling very hard to find a best economic solution also, and fulfilling the economic need of the people also. Okay, and lastly, the economics or the sufficient economy there. Sufficient economic means the word is beautifully used here. The sufficient economy means where the each and every person, they must get at least a few resources by which they can fulfill their demand or they can fulfill their economic need. So that is the meaning economic way, that is the sufficient economy. So we need that sufficient economy. So environment to survive, for survival of environment, we must have all the social element in its good condition, the better economic condition, and sharing resources equitably. Then we have to we got the built environment also, and we are building the environment in in this process or in current position also. Okay, so this is all about the integral part of, or the basic or the importance of sustainable development. Okay, next I am moving further. The brief history of sustainable development. I will not go into the details of the brief history of sustainable development. When we say certain thing which is in a force, or which is running, or which is impacting certain things, we must know the background behind that. What is the background behind that? So history wise we are discussing here. So what is the history? Say, you can see here on my screen the brief history of this sustainable development. From where what was the starting point and where we are. That is the last point. That is in the last slide. Okay. So see, in 1962 it has started, that Rachel Carson's in his book The Silent Spring. Okay. So he had mentioned the environmentalism, basically modern the environmentalism. Then this was the turning point in sustainable development. What was that turning point? In 1972, one conference was there in Stockholm, and that in Stockholm, that conference was basically on human development. Human development. One Chinese quotes was there. Okay, and I would like to share that Chinese quote, that if you want to plant a rice Okay, you can consider a month. You can plant a tree. You can consider a certain period, say 1 year, 2 year, or maybe for 100 years or all that. But if you want to say about the education, if you want to educate the people of your nation, the time period is unlimited. Infinity means you are continuously, means you must continuously uh, find a solution, okay, for educating your people continuously. I am using the word continuously, means it is an unstoppable phenomena. It's a continuous phenomena. So education is very necessary for all the people. Then next 1987, you will find this particular commission, Broadland Commission, and in their report, our common picture, they have mentioned the details about this, the sustainable development for all the nations of the world. Here, the most important is for all the nation of the world. Then the next come the Millennium Development Goals. I would like to share that slides also. Okay, so the starting point was they were designed or framed the Millennium Development Goals basically. Then one Kyoto Protocol was there regarding the climate and some greenhouse gases. Okay, then 1992, this was the turning point again, where Rio Declaration was there, the Agenda 21 was there, and some principles was were framed at that time, and all these the agencies, they were the contributing. Okay, agencies were there. Okay, then Johannesburg conference was there in 2002, where again the topic of sustainable development were discussed. Okay, and they have actually framed the plan for the adopting and implementing the various measures in sustainable development. Then this COP 15, 16, and 17 is where the milestone in the sustainable development, where the issues such as the biodiversity, the climate change, were discussed by the 15 nations or the group of nations. Okay, 16, that is the abbreviation they are using. And now Rio plus 20. Rio plus 20 means what happened after 1992. Means what is the progress after 20 years. In 1992, that summit was there, and after 20 years of that particular the summit, what is the change or what we have achieved actually at this period. So that is we are discussing in this Rio 20, in this Rio 20. Okay, so this is the brief history of sustainable development. Not only the brief history, but where where we can use this particular thing. You must be thinking why we are discussing the history and all that. When anybody, just like the Meshram sir is there, if he would like to frame a syllabus for his RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. Okay, so and he is in a position to design a syllabus for sustainable development. A paper is there, so he is mentioning the history of sustainable development. So definitely the student after appearing, okay, at the time of the examination, okay, he will definitely write from where the sustainable development concept has started, initiated, and now where we are at after 20 years and all that. So all this topic becomes the parts of the syllabus. So very important one. Okay, shall I move further? Okay, I think I am audible to all of you. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next slide. Okay, just I have discussed the Millennium Development Goal. Why I am sharing all these goals? These were the starting, and the 8 goals they were framed. They were framed, and a last goal you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4% has been uh, they are mentioning a global partnership for development. Okay, so they are ending with this Millennium Goal. Will they always want a global partnership? Because this is the must phenomena. Why it is a required phenomena? Because unless and until you got that particular partnership, okay, if person are not working together, they are in a vacuum or in a isolation, definitely the things will not be possible basically. So working together and working uniqueness that is more important in this. So Millennium Development Goals, starting with these first, second, third, and fourth, like that. Okay. So based on these Millennium Development Goals, what happened in most of the NET set examination, nationwide eligibility test for a lecturership or for junior JRF. Okay. They always ask you the question, what is the difference between the Millennium Development Goals and the next goal I am sharing with you, that is the Sustainable Development Goal. I think I will not go into the details of all these goals. So 17 goals you must be knowing, and that is the theme of this particular RC course also. Okay. So they have covered all the things. I will only say in a single line that these goals were set in order to make the progress of the nation. Okay, and that progress is counted basically not only on the technological development, but they required all the components: social, economic, the cultural also. Okay, scientific also. So all these things, when they will come together, so it will form a build a nation or a progressive nation. So that's why these sustainable development goals has been designed nicely, and they're actually evaluating these UN, they are evaluating the progress in all these goals, say in poverty or in hunger, global health, or all this, the quality education. This is the most discussed topic nowadays, the gender equality, and all these up to the partnership. Again the 17, you look at this particular 17, the goal number, partnership for the goals, means even if the nation they have achieved all these the target of, sorry, just a minute, sorry, the target of the all the goals, the question remains is there any partnership or there, means the nation they are not coming together, they are not sharing their progress or their achievement or their innovation with the other nation, the things that is goal they have set and progress they want to see on the planet earth, it would not be possible. Okay, so that's why the goal number 17 is much more important, remember. Okay, now I move on to the next slide. Yes. Okay, we start our journey of the sustainable development. The what are the challenges to sustainable development? Means we have set the goals. Okay, we have also set the millennium goals. We have put all the things which can do better or which is beneficial for the nation. Okay, but before fulfilling all those goals and before satisfying all those, the there are various hurdles are there. What are those hurdles? That is in the form of challenges. Okay, most of the time for all nations, what happen? They're actually eager to do all those things, but many times the certain things by which they could not be in a position, maybe in a position to solve all that problems or to achieve that particular the goal of sustainable development. Okay, what are those challenges? Just we have just seen this particular slides. So what are the challenges? You can observe instability, implementation and governance. Critically observe this particular figure. Instability. What is that instability? This instability, it is the culprit for, or it is the hurdle, or it is the interference in the progress of the nation. So this instability, it may be in all type of aspects, maybe in environmental protection, maybe in a gender equality, maybe in a pollution control, maybe in a economic progress, or maybe in a cultural progress. Okay, so this is instability. If you don't have a stability in all these components, see this, if you don't have a stability in these components, what will happen? You are not in a position to go for a sustainable development goal. Means your attention is to stabilize your needs first also. Then you will be moving or progressing towards the sustainable development. Then secondly, even you got the stable condition is there. If people are not eager, they are not enthusiastic, or they are not active people. If they are not active people, knowledge is there. Okay, enough knowledge is there. But if they are not active at all, what is the use of that knowledge? Okay, if they are not applying that knowledge. So implementation of the whatever the knowledge or whatever the stable components are there, that is much important, firstly. Then the most important is the governance. This is the most topic discussed in the world, governance. Okay, you will find in 194 countries, and if you are observing or you are going for a survey for the government which are actually in their country, in their respective countries, what will happen? There may be the mixed opinion about the people, because what they need, people actually, they need the cover of the law. See, people, they need the cover of the law, but people's aspiration is much more above the law. Just kindly listen this particular sentence. Their aspirations or their need or their expectation is above the law, means they require much more things beyond the law. Means their need, what they feel, will not be completed within that particular legal structure. So they need additional cover beyond the law. So that is the governance, the what the people they are thinking, or people they may think. I am also with the opinion that I required the much more facilities about the law also. So law is also, that may be, and any individual, he or she may think that he or she should have the lots of the aspirations or the needs about the law also. Okay, so that is the, it may be the controversial statements also, it may be the discussed topics also. So this is the challenges, first challenges for the sustainable development. Okay, next, the first challenge is insecure future. Why I am seeing the insecure future or the threatened or the endangered future? Because in all these nations, the on the planet Earth, the poverty, it is still there. Okay, you can't say that every country it is poverty free. No, poverty is still there. We will go into the some aspects of poverty also. Then what happened? Nation, most of the nation, they got the short sighted way of prosperity, short sighted dream, or certain measures of prosperity. They want to become the developed in a short span of time. Okay, short span of time. So while doing this, there may be lots of mistakes. The nation, they may go for environmental, they may destruct their valuable or the virgin environment also, because they want the prosperity, and prosperity is, you know very well, can be, it is possible with the destruction of the environment and natural resources. Okay, so sighted visions may be there. Then unsustainable growth. Basically, we want the growth. Okay, I'm not talking about our country, our nation, but I'm talking about the entire world. This concept is applicable for entire world, because if planet is there, we could be there. If planet is not there, definitely nobody can't expect our survival. So unsustainable growth. We want the growth that must be sustainable, but we are living in a era or in a atmosphere where the growth is not sustainable one. So definitely you will always be in a miserable conditions, basically. Then the economic crisis. The economic crisis, this is the most important aspect for all the nations. Even you got the lots of knowledge, you got the lots of technology. Okay, but that technology which is not bringing or which is not procuring the desired results, which is not collecting the assets, the in monetary terms, I think there is no use of all that technology and all that method. So you can't survive in a economic crisis condition. Okay, try to remember. Okay, so next slide. So up to this, are you happy with my presentation? Yes, participant. If you have any
Yes.
doubts, you can freely ask to me. Hello. Okay, shall I move?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Next. Thank you very much. Next. See, I will not go into the details of this particular poverty. You can see and you can read also. Okay. So person, if he doesn't have the financial resources for a simple living, if he is a human being and if he doesn't have the food, the clothes, and even the home for living, okay, so he can't expect a concept of human being. Okay, you can't uh, you can't say that the person is he's in a position to live because he doesn't have anything which say that he is a living being. Okay, so he can't collect the financial resources. Okay, and he is not in a position to maintain the standards of living. So that's the word, the poverty. Okay, and it is still in the world basically, and this is the most culprit, or it is the interfering factors in sustainable development. All the nation, they must have the programs to elevate this poverty. Very good. Next. Then just discuss. I'm trying to discuss the poverty in developing and even the least developed nation. Okay, in the sir, the categorization is there: developed nation, the developing nation, and the least developed nation. Somewhere they also call it as a third world: first world, second world, third world. Okay, so that are the abbreviations basically they are using. Okay, the words poorest country, what basically their economy is what, how they see their economy, they must grow. That is the important thing. How they see their economy, they grow. Okay, so that economy, for the growth of the economy, the export is needed. Export in what form? The agricultural products, basically the agricultural product. Then while expanding, or while uh, the elongating all these agricultural or the exportings, there is always a stress on what? On the environment. On the environment. So that stress, it is mentioned, or it is mentioned in terms of the ecological stress, basically. Means you are achieving the target of the agricultural products, no doubt. Your GDP is also you are increasing, you are fulfilling the demands also. But at the same time, what is happening? You are not in a position to control the ecological crisis. So that stress is there. Then what happened? There is uh, there are certain political situation is there. I am mentioning here the decline. What is that political situation? If certain developed countries are there, they got the sophisticated technology, then they are not in a position to transfer their technology to poorer nation. Okay, because they always want to stay rich all the time. They always want to be a rich nation all the time. So it's very difficult for them to transfer the technology. Then protectionism. This particular word is actually used for farmers. Farmers in the developed nation. They are protecting their rights in all the way. Means they are protecting the rights of that farmers. Okay. They are not actually disclosing or transferring their achievement to poorer nations. Then what happened? In absence of this technology transfer, in absence of the freeness, okay, to the poorer nation or the least developed nation, what happened? There is a decline in the financial flow in the poorer nation, or the least developed or the developing nation. So how you could see the growth in their particular GDP or in their financial condition. And in absence of that, what will happen? There will be ecological stress all the time. There would be ecological stress. Okay, next, just see the condition of, we have already seen the condition of this developing or the least developed nation. Now see the condition of the developed nation. Okay, how they can see this particular thing. Then, okay, before that, I'm once again, this small point is there. The growing demand on scarce resources and the pollution. Okay, so what happened? Scarce resources means even if they want to become a rich or they want to become a stable nation, there is a huge demand for the scarce resources. Those resources are in scarce condition, and most of the time, developed nation, they always need these type of scarce resources from the poorer nation, basically. Okay, so what happened? What are the least resources have we that are which is available, with the poorer nation? It becomes a binding or certain pressure on them to sell those scarce resources to the developed nation. So what will happen? The living standards, it goes on decreasing. Okay, and financial condition goes on decreasing, and with that the poverty, uh, it will definitely rise in the least developed nation or the developing nation. Okay, then what happened? That scarce resources they are using in excessive way. Okay, or in increasing way. What will happen? There is always a stress on ecological stress. Basically, the not only that, the environmental pollution is there, the resources are depleting, and certain non-renewable resources are there also exhausting. Okay, and this particular way, where that particular way is going, it's become very hard and very miserable for that particular nation also, and the people in their nation also, to survive. The basic survive or the basic need is not fulfilled, so they becomes poorer and poor. Okay, with the additional stress on the environment. See how this environment is interconnected with the social things, the cultural things, even the economic things also. Okay, if those things are not in a good condition, you can't expect your environment to be in a good condition. Okay, it will always deplete, it will not improve. Just try to remember. Okay, next, the causes. Okay, as said earlier, that increasing amount of resources demands is there, then it will definitely lead to pollution. And what is, I am going to discuss this particular topic if time permits at the end of this particular session, that whatever the resources you lost, whatever the resources you have already used for the progress of your nation or for the people of the nation, what happened? You haven't mentioned those loss in your balance sheet. So what is that balance sheet? The balance sheet of a nation. Balance sheet of a nation means when we prepare the financial budget every year for any nation, okay, the provision must be there to include the loss to the environment. Yes, you have developed, you have got that GDP, very good GDP, but what at what cost? At what cost? You have depleted the resources, and if you don't have the plan to regenerate those resources, so what is required? That loss must be mentioned in that account also, financial budget also, that your GDP has risen to certain level, but at the same time you have used that particular resources, and secondly you are mentioning in that balance sheet that part of their your earning you are keeping for that resources to regenerate again and again. So that's the meaning of the cost of production and mentioning those the depleted resources in the balance sheet. Okay, so this particular topic I am discussing sustainable development. Okay, people always see the sustainable development and always we see sustainable development are there, but if you go into the details of the picture of this particular sustainable development, basically the particular concept, it starts with your house also. You see that your house, you are always in a struggling condition, basically each and your human being, to make him a sustained individual in the society. Okay, and for that sustainable or for that sustained uh, part, what or she do most of the things that we are exploiting or we are exploring various resources. Maybe the physical resources are there, or certain environmental resources are there, financial resources also. So the things begin from individuals and it reaches to the nation and it reaches to the planet of the earth, the planet earth basically. Okay, next. Now, next, the third point that is to be discussed, that is the prosperity. See, the prosperity, as you can see, their prosperity that is attained by the developed nation. How they have achieved the prosperity or their developed status? They have explored the farming, the forest also, the industrial processes. The industrial processes they have also developed nicely. Okay, then practices, and definitely what happened, all these things, if we are observing all these things, we see that we see USA or certain the developed nations such as France, Britain and all that, we say that that is the developed nation. But what is happened, their progress is not a long term or a sustainable progress. The progress is for the short term, means they are actually exploiting or they have already exploited their valuable resources to bring that particular the progress status for that. Okay, so ecologically and environmental point of view, their prosperity is not a prosperity which is altogether needed for the entire nation. Okay, so that is the meaning of this particular slide. Then next is, just wait a minute. Okay, my slide is not running. Yes, now it's okay. So can you see the slide? Good. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can read the first word, the basis. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Next slide. Next slide is there. Okay. You plus please keep your mic. Okay. You just mute it. Okay. Thank you very much. The basis for human. Okay. Somebody's mic is on. Participants. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello. हाँ sir.
Somebody's mic is on. I think I can see Dr. Pallavi. Dr. Pallavi.
Yes, yes, Deshmukh.
Okay. You just keep your mic off. Okay. Thank you. Next slide is most important one. The basis for human growth currently threatened in many locations by the possibility of irreparable harm to the environment. Means if we see the growth of human being, okay, the for what all these things, sustainable development, all those discussed goal, for to whom we are discussing, for human being. If all these practices, if these are not favorable for the growth of human being, what's the use of all that? So the growth of human being, it is jeopardized because of the excessive or the harm to the environment, and which is not coming one. Once it is gone, it will not. If we are say, we can say that if the ozone layer it is not there, the survival of human being, you can't expect survival of human being. That's the meaning. Next. Once again, we are coming to this developing country. What is their structure of the GDP or their growth, and how they see this sustainable development? See what they do. The developing countries, basically not a development. I am coming to that. Okay, so the growth in developing nation. Okay, with the huge population, basically with the huge population is there. Then their income is also in a good condition. They are consuming the energy materials also. But what is happening? The subsequently economic crises are there. Okay, and these economic crisis, it may be due to the unequal or unequitable sharing of resources. Okay, unequitable share of resources. If resources are not shared equally, what will happen? Those person who doesn't have the resources in their hand, okay, what they will do? What they will do? They will destruct the environment, okay, and the cost of that environment, it will be included in the growth of the nation basically. So that is the word economic crisis. Then we are using lots of fossil fuel, then we are building the huge dams, then nations, they are clearing the forest, that is the shifting cultivation, okay, and all these things in a developing country leads to the environmental stress, basically stresses, okay, environmental stresses, and that stress will definitely lower the GDP of a nation. It will never hike or you are never increase your GDP if we are in a condition to we are conditioned in a environmental stress. Okay, okay, you must got this point. Then coming to the developed countries, what is their view regarding the sustainable development? What they do actually? Okay, so modern way for developed countries that their economic growth is there, and now what they are doing, they have already exploited the resources, the planets or Earth's resources in a huge quantity. Say I am in India or I am I am in India. If I am using 1% of energy for survival, the 20 years or 25 years back, what will happen? USA, they might have used the 50% or 60% of energy by exploiting their resources. Their resources, I'm not saying their resources, but it's a resources of the planet Earth. The resources of the planet Earth with the lots of air pollution, lots of water pollution, and all types of pollution. Okay, maybe due to that particular growth. Okay, nowadays what happened? They got the ample money. They got the huge money. Their GDP is very good. Now they are actually giving or paying attention towards the reducing the emission of the pollutants, and they are putting less pressure on the biosphere. They can do that, but if you see the developing nation, if you don't have the money to spend on to to cure or to repair the environment, it becomes very difficult for that nation to keep the lots of funds for the environment, for repairing the environment. So that is the difference between this developed country and the developing country regarding the use of the resources, because in the use of the precious resources. That's the thing. Next, then we come to the point again on our most discussed point, that is the sustainable development. What are the essential requirement? What we need for the sustainable development? That's the important point. Let's see. Okay, what we need? We need a long-term sustainable growth. Again, that is the point. Long-term sustainable growth. We need the equitable trade. Equitable trade means if we are trading with certain nation, if say just take the example of China. Basically, what is happening? We were procuring lots of goods from the China. So import was quite high, say 90%, 95%, and our export was very less. So the balance is disturbed here. Balance is disturbed here. So what we need? Equitable trade means if 50% thing we are procuring from China, it is always needed, or from China, or say from USA, it is always needed that 50% thing we must also export to them. Okay, so there must be balance, means that balance will what it will do? It will keep the resources of both the nation in a good condition. Okay, things will not go in a single side. Okay, so that is the meaning of equitable trade. Then the growth of capital and even technology flow. Technology flow means whatever the technology other nation they have, they must give that technology to the poorer nation. See, I am giving the famous example of our country also, and I am very much proud about my country, because once upon a time, the space aviation, you must be knowing the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. At that time, what happened? We were in a urgent need of certain cryogenic technology. You must be knowing the word cryogenic. Cryogenic means the freezing or below freezing. That is the technology. and certain developed nation, they were having that particular technology, but they denied to give that technology to India. Why they denied? Because they were not in a mood or a position to see India to be a developed nation, basically. So our nation scientists, they strived hard, they worked hard, and they have developed their own indigenous technology, cryogenic technology. And now you can see we are in a commanding position, and we could be the first nation in the world to have that particular achievement, to see a landing of a smooth or the smooth landing on the surface of on lunar surface, basically, and basically at the south pole where temperature is below freezing point. Let's see on 23rd or 24th August. We must be hopeful about all that particular things to be happen, and we must feel proud for that also. Okay, so technology flow from the rich nation to the poorer nation is utmost needed. It's it utmost needed. If they are not doing that, this is the bad thing for sustainable development. The one nation will survive, but other nation will also survive, but there will always remain a gap that gap will definitely go for or will lead to ecological crisis or environmental destruction. Okay, let's see. Nextly, we require this sustainability in which term? More important is that this sustainability we require is in terms of economic variables, such as, sorry, not economical variable, this is the non-economical variable. I can see this particular dialog box also, non-economical variable. Why it is called as non-economical variables? Because education we are giving to our people, okay, and health we are giving to our people. It must be free from economy, basically. Free from economy means there must not be a economic burden on the people, because once they got the enough education, sound education, and sound health, okay, what will happen? They will work very hard, they will put their extra time for the development of nation. If they are not educated, their health is not in a good condition, what will happen? You can't expect the luxurious or the sustainable growth. Means in terms of clean air, clean water, or you can't also expect the protection of the natural beauty or the natural resources. So that's the meaning that is sustainability we require in terms of the economy also, and that is in terms of the educated people of the nation, and very good they, and also having the better health, the people with the better health, basically. Okay, so let's move. Okay, okay, this particular slide is not moving. Yes, now are you understanding my concept, participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next, see these two aspects. Please keep your mic off. See this aspect. Economy and ecology must be completely integrated in decision making. See, whenever we frame or we design for any economic development, we want to become a highly productive nation, highly developed nation, or our economy is a good condition. So you should not forget the concept of ecology. Means ecology must be integrated in economics. If ecology is integrated in economics, what will happen? There would be the proper balance in economic growth. Then most important is the law making processes should be protect and promote them. So anything whatever the laws we are having, those laws are for the protection of the rights of the people, basically, even the protection of the valuable resources also, and protection of our own interest, basically, or interest of the nation. So that is the importance of the law. Okay, and no doubt the protection of environment also. Then most important thing is social development. And in this most important point, I have highlighted the position of the woman in the society. See what happen if you are not paying attention towards the education, health, and the well-being of the woman. Okay, so you can't expect a growth in any nation. Basically, if you are forgetting this particular point, the inclusion, if you are not including the role or the opinion of the woman community in any nation's development, definitely we are lacking most of the thing. So their participation in decision making is utmost required. Okay, at all level. Okay, I'm not talking about is a particular level, but at all level where the decision which is required in the nation's interest, basically in nation interest, you must include the humans in that. Okay, so next, so these are the essential requirements. Basically, I'm discussing about the sustainable development. Then we come to the sustainable solution. Now, what could be the probable, basically I am whatever I am suggesting or giving solution to all these things are the some probabilities are there. It's upon that particular nation is there, certain individual is there, to how he sees that particular development in a proper way. So that is the sustainable solution. So let's discuss one by one. Okay, so first and most important thing is political system participation in decision making. Okay, so sound very good, and the healthy political system in any country is utmost required, is the essential requirement for the sustainable development to come in reality. You can visualize these things. If sound political system is there, if they are in a position to develop their particular region, their nation, they got vision, definitely any nation will not be in a down position. Okay, they will always progress. Okay, and they will definitely bring the good conditions or wealth to their people also. So we need a strong political system and their participation. It's our moral responsibility of the people is also there, that they must participate in this political system also. Second, the economic system, most discussing. Okay, so any economic system to survive, so you need a technical knowledge. So we include this particular subject economy in the arts faculty basically. But friend, always remember this subject, even if it is mentioned in art, but you need a scientific concept in order to keep your economy in a good condition. So you need a technical knowledge, and that technical knowledge which is a self-reliant, means that is discovered by your own nation. Okay, that is most important. And you could see that whether your economic progress, it is in a sustainable way. It is in a sustainable way. Then the social system, if there is a very good interpersonal relationship. So what are those interpersonal relationship? The people they are mixing with together, people they are sharing their views, people they are sharing their benefits, their achievement, and they are helping with each other. Definitely it builds up a sound social system basically. And that sound social system, basically it will transform your particular process into a developed or most sustainable economic way, or say for a most proper prosperous way. That is the strong social system is there. This is actually the pillars of the sustainable development. Okay, so this is the sustainable solution. Why I have included the social system as a sustainable solution. If you are strengthening this particular system, see the result basically. You can you will observe this particular. I will also discuss that particular sustainable one case study with you, the most in a short span of time right now. Okay, so if time permits, definitely I will be doing all that. Then production system, your production or your industrial production, it is in uh, equality with the ecological base, means you are preserving the resources, your production system is also good, your industrial production is very good, and you are taking care of the ecology environment. Definitely it will definitely lead to the better development and sustainable development is there. Okay, so it would be a sustainable solution if you are bringing those particular sustainable methods or technology in your deeds, in your routine work. So that is the things here. Next is the technological system. This technological system has to be innovative basically, and it's a continuous process. You must be a innovative person, you must be an innovative nation all together and all the time. Innovation definitely bring lots of good things. Okay, and that is better for the sustainable development. So this is the innovative technological system is utmost required, or this is the proper solution to the sustainable development, where if you are technologically sound and innovative also. Okay, next, the international system. So what happened, where we can't remain in isolation. If I am say I am in this country India, and I think that I will only survive, and other nation I will not take care of that, all that. So the system will not work. The system of sustainable development will not work, because the planet is one. The planet is one. Only one earth we got, and where life exists. Okay, and the people of all the planet, they are equal. We must consider in sustainable way, or for sustainable development, that people of all the nations are there, are one. They are equal. Okay, only they are divided into the various nations. So we must have, or should have, the better or the sound or the sustainable international system of the trade and the finance. Okay, so 50-50% means if I am exporting, I am also importing. So balance should not go in a one direction. It must be a two-way system. Okay, so we require the strong international system, that is the sustainable system. Then most important is administrative system. If your administrative system is not flexible, what are the consequences? If I'm asking question to all of you, if the administrative system is not flexible, the meaning of flexible is it is not that you are setting free all the people and to do all the things. The meaning of flexible is, means you have framed that administrative system for the betterment of, or for the growth of, or for the sustainable growth of your own institution. Okay, your own institution. When we say the institution, it's not about the institution. I am saying the people, the living people, they are living in that particular institution. Their working, their achievement, their applications, and their application, they are building your institution. So administrative system, if you are having the flexibility, and always see that your institution is growing and growing, it is simply growing and growing. Keep just keep in mind this word. You are just see or just dream it, that your administrative your institution is growing and growing. So that is the administrative system. So this is administrative system. I am talking about a for an individual. I am talking about for the nation, and I am also talking about the better administrative system for all the nations. If they are doing, or they are in a position to do that, definitely the goal of sustainable development or sustainable solution will be a proper one. Okay, and if certain correction, self correction is required, so what happens when we do certain things? Definitely it's always not 100% correct. There is always mistakes or some lacunas are there. So we must feel happy, and we must be a open hearted people to correct all those things from time to time, as and when it is required. Correct it basically. So this administrative or the sound administrative system is utmost required for the betterment of the, or for the achievement of sustainable development. Okay, now the sustainable components are there, environmental components are there. I will discuss in a short way, because time is not permitting me to go into the detail, because I got one more extra time to discuss the some remaining things, that is more important one. Okay. So what are those sustainable environmental components? So my slide is visible all to all of you participants.
Yes, sir. Yes, Yes, sir. sir.
Okay. Okay. Please, please keep your mic off. Okay. Then, basically, what are those components? Sustainable environmental components. Basically, the food security. Okay, if he is not in a condition to gather his food and security is not there, you can't expect the growth. Basically, so I will not go into the details of it. Requires one more session. Basically, the what is required, the renewal of natural resources means if you want to secure your food, basically the food from which source you are obtaining, it must be regenerative. Regenerative means that source must give or must yield that particular thing again and again. So that is the regenerative. That is the meaning. The second, third, and all point I will not go into that is the supporting component to the renewable of natural resources. Then when you see the wild species, you can see the lots of tiger in and around our uh, Nagpur city, basically. So what is more requirement for sustainable development with respect to the species, wildlife species? You must keep their genetic resources in the form of gene bank, maybe in ex situ or in situ conservation. So that is that is the different aspect, that is in situ and ex situ conservation. Means the generations, the future generation, if they are asking, they should not ask you that I have seen this particular animal in picture. So that is the message for this. So you must keep the genetic resources stock in a good condition for sustainable development. Then regarding the energy consumption, your your approach should be very good. Okay, you must invest in a environmentally sound and economically viable energy resources, basically, and with the input from the politics or the framework, and institutional cooperation means the supporting things which are building up all those environmental sound and economical systems which makes the better sustainable energy consumption. Then when we see the industry should have the best environmental goals with them. The regulation they should have the ample money. If they do not have all those things, it's a responsibility of the government to make them viable or make them the potential to achieve their goals. So they must standards and they must be always in a position to innovate. So innovation is utmost required. Then sustainable population. See, there is lots of talk about the population. We are the number one nation in this particular topic or aspect. So there are lots of things, even the discussions may be there, maybe platform there. I will not go into the detail. So the most important thing I would like to mention here, the population policy that must be very good. And what here they mentioned here, the education of female. Okay, so healthcare expansion. So the most important thing is giving the rights to see the I will not we will discuss in detail, giving the equal rights to the people to decide their family, basically. So this is the concept. I'm not talking about the explosion and all. If the right is given, basically he must think that the what is required, what is his the requirement, the what is your size and all that, what is his economic condition. Based on that, he can think about the population and all that. Okay, next is strengthening the resource base. So whatever the natural resources we have to strengthen the resource base. Mishram sir, I would like to ask you. Hello, is somebody is there? Hello.
Huh, sir?
Uh, how much time I can also take for this session? Can you give me 10 to 15 minutes? Not that?
Huh, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much, sir.
Your time is over. Hello, Dr.
Yes,
Mahendra Thakare, sir.
yes, sir. Yes, my time is over, but I would like to share
But
certain.
still, you can take 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much, sir. So strengthening the resource base, basically. So for sustainable solution and sustainable development, our resource base means whatever the resources we are having with the nation, we have to strengthen them. Should not deplete them. Deplete them at such level where we are not in a position to come back again. So we have to strengthen that resource base. So how we can do that? We can set the emission standards. We already said. Then we have to promote the low waste technologies. Basically, the technologies which can generate the low waste, basically. And we have to forecast, we have to visualize, we have to dream the impact of all our technologies and what are the waste we are generating on the planet. Okay, and always see that all these things should go for or go with the sustainable development progress of our nation. That is the message. Then we have to improve our technology also, and these are the points. Actually it requires the very much time, but I will simply say that our legal and institutional mechanism must be strong. Means whenever we are discovering the technology, we must promote them. Okay, if anything by planning, and if certain damage is there, we can provide the monetary benefits also. So the technology must be improved once, there must be a research, there must be a innovation all the time. Then see, I am discussing about one of the case study of this sustainable development. I am very much happy that all the times whenever I go and whenever I take this particular lecture for various research, refresher courses, I always discuss my topic with them in a brief way, basically. Okay, now this energy related research is there. Okay, and one case study is there. Just go how energy consumption linked to development. Okay, I already discussed all these things, that economic conditions, social conditions, then energy consumption, then GDP. The outcome is the GDP. Okay, and you always you require the sound thinking, sound planning, which always leads you in the sustainable development, basically. Okay, and you can see this picture, how what makes this country develop. See, you can see lots of luxury and all these luxurious things and amenities with you when you say a developed country. Okay, and it is measured in terms of standards of living of the people, economy, their industrial activity, and basically the low poverty rate. This is more important. Means if people if they are not poor, or their poverty is not there in the nation, definitely the nation is going towards the developed nation. Basically, kaise possible? How is it possible? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. See, okay. So the nations, they have said this particular waves. I always discuss with these waves. These waves of innovation means we have started with the 1750, when there were only the water power mechanism, and now we are in this era where we have the the artificial human being with us. You must be thinking artificial human being. Who is he? That is AI, artificial intelligence. Means in coming days, all your work will be performed by that particular robot, which will definitely look like you, but which is not a living human being, but it's the artificial human being. That is the AI and all that. So this is the era. So that is the waves of innovation. Okay, I will not go into the factors of economic development of the country. It requires, I already discussed political freedom. I am just saying here, and I already discussed with you. Okay, so these are the some of the determinants which is required for the sustainable development. Basically, I will not go into the details of that. Okay, now I am directly coming to the one of the case study where I have already worked, and I have worked for at least 10 to 15 years in this particular village. So sustainable development. So that is one village is there at the outskirts of, at the east part of Gadchiroli district. Okay, in Gadchiroli district basically, and name of village is that Mendhaleka village. Okay, so you can see this particular the name of this Mendhaleka. Okay, this is a small village and the tribal village, and the people of this village are the Adivasis basically, and at least 500 to 600 people are there, and government they have allotted the 1,800 hectares of land for their living purpose basically. So they are very rich basically in terms of the natural resources. Okay, so this is the unique example of sustainable development. I have already discussed the various aspects of sustainable development. Those were the theoretical aspects. Now I am giving you the practical aspects of this sustainable development. That is the case study with this Mendaleka village. See, so why this village is called as the sustained village or eco village or economical viable village? Because these village, this type of this village particularly, they have achieved the target of the environmental management, the administrative structure, and they are the having the very good political system. So all these factor makes this particular village a sustainable developed village. See what they have done. Okay, you can read this particular slogan. Okay, what is written here? In Gondi language, the first line is written. In second language, Marathi, in Marathi it is mentioned. And in third, it is in Hindi. I think some participants may be from other state, and if not knowing this particular Marathi, I'm going to elaborate this particular thing in English. What it is saying, in Delhi and Mumbai, we got our government. Okay, the elected government. But when the things comes to our village, we are the government. We are the government means the in nation in Delhi and Mumbai, we have already given you the right to think and plan and even administer. But when the things comes to our village, we are the government means we will plan, we will discuss, we will set the goals, we will manage the things, we will administer the things in our village. In our village, we will not allow other people to take the charge. Okay, the meaning is not that anybody cannot involve in that. They can involve and they can take the opinion of that outsider, but the final decision will be of the village. The village will decide whether the things it is to be done or not. Okay, so that is the meaning. दिल्ली मुंबई में हमारी सरकार, हमारे गांव में हम ही सरकार. Okay, so that is the meaning. See what they do. So this is the decision making. See participants and all of you, listen carefully. That decision making, this is the important thing in all the livings basically. If we are not in a position to take the sound decision, a perfect decision, okay, definitely things will not do. These people, they are sitting together. See, and they are in a circle. Why they are in a circle? Because each and every person, they can see each person basically. And here women's participation of women is quite high. Means it doesn't uh, uh, male persons, they are also there. Okay, but the decision will be taken jointly by the efforts of the people of the Mandalay. Okay, so how the decision is taken? See these people. If you can see, if 50% they are sitting here and they are discussing on certain topic, say, and see if some person, this back person, okay, with red t-shirt, if he is asking certain question, and it is to be decided by the other person that whatever he has asked, whether it is right or wrong. If it is wrong, okay, if it is wrong, what will happen? Uh, he has to give the clarification that why his question is wrong. See, why his question is wrong, or he must be in a position to elaborate that question, the answer for that. And if a certain person, if a certain decision has been taken and it is equally true for all the people, and if this person is saying that this decision, the decision you have taken is wrong, and if he is clarifying his stance on that particular topic, and if it is correct, and if it is correct in the interest of the Mendalika village, not in the interest of the people, it is in the interest of the Mendalika village, definitely his demand will be fulfilled, or his decision will be taken into granted or for confirmation. So this is the most the critical process, and it also required the months. Even it is decision is not taken in a day. They will sit together for the day, even for a month, so many months before taking the final decision. So this is the beauty of this particular village. Okay. Then next is the what are the assets? I have already discussed. They got the hectares of 1,009, nearly 900 hectares of land. Then the what they do in this 1,900 hectares of they got the Nistar Patrak. This is the one of the rights given by the law for using the resources. Then that is called the Nistar. Then okay, just a minute. सर मी एक रिसोर्स पर्सन म्हणून मी हे काम करतो. मी बोलतो 10 मिनिटात. हा, ठीक आहे. Sorry, one urgent call from university was there. So it is all the decision is taken in the Gram Sabha. Always remember Gram, and this is the highest decision making body in their village. Just like we got the parliament in our country, that is the highest decision making body in our country. Like that, Gram Sabha in the Mendal Lekhalik is the highest decision making. What they do, they are using the wood, food, fodder, agriculture, and water for, and that is the energy consumption, but in a sustainable way. Okay, so sustainable way. So what they do, actually the Abbas guts is there. They are bringing the wood and even material from the forest, but at the same time they are also planting the trees. Then this method of decision taking I have already discussed with you. Okay, they sit together, they work with the government of Maharashtra also for the sound decision. Okay, I have worked there quite hard, and I will tell you some of the research activity I have also, already carried out. I have gone through this particular research activity for measuring the biomass. Then using this line transect method, that is the scientific method. You can see, if you want to count the trees, you have to plot this particular belt, line transect belt. Then the results I have got, that is the whatever the biomass of the standing trees they are having, it is up to 100 years they can utilize these particular resources without depletion. 100 and more years. So that is the beauty of this particular village, that their resources is large and it will not deplete any time. Okay, they will get the resources in ample quantity, because their method of preserving, protecting, and conserving the resources is quite good. Okay, so this is the type of research work I have carried out there. Okay, I also worked on the biogas plant. This is called a Deenbandhu biogas plant. These construction details are there, the PT is there, then the construction activity is there, and this is the final structure. And this is the most sustainable model in that village and in the country also, most of the time. So they are actually saving the fuels also. Okay, so this is the study, and they have got the very good bamboo harvesting practice also there, and they have also got the transfer pass to sell their bamboo in the nations. Okay, this is, you can see the beautiful picture of a forest in Mendhaleka village. Okay, and this is the yield of a bamboo. Then one minister, that is Jairam Ramesh, few years back, he had visited this particular village and discussed with the people. Okay, and once again you can see there how they take their decision. Okay, this is the sustainable way of extracting honey, means they are not destructing the honey hives. Basically they are preserving it, means once the honey is extracted, but the bees are not destroyed. Bees will always remain there forever. Not a single bee is harmed, it is not killed. Okay, that is the beauty of. Okay, then they are using the biogas slurry or the manure in their paddy field. Okay, they also got the food grains bank. Okay, and they are preserving their lakes also, and they are keeping all the records. Their health is very good. Education, they are also in a very good condition. So what is happening? Whatever they are earning is there. They are spending their earnings on the better education of the childrens, then health of the people, and most importantly, again for preservation of the forest and conservation of forest in their village, basically. So they are eco-friendly people. They are environmentally friendly people, and they are representing the entire world as a sustainable village people. So that is the beauty of this. Okay. So actually time is not there, and I'm not going to discuss the. I got the lots of literature with this integrated environmental and economic accounting. So this is the method in which the normal balance sheet of the nation of any nation, in that particular balance sheet, the environmental components means whatever the cost or whatever the degradation to the environment that is there, it is included. So that is called as integrated environmental and economic accounting. Okay. So if time permits somewhere, I will definitely go for this particular topic. So at this point, I stop here. Thank you very much for listening, patient listening, and I am very much thankful to Dr. Praveen Meshram sir for giving me such a nice opportunity to express my view in front of you. Thank you very much. Okay, sir, it's up. It's over to Dr. Meshram, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mahendra Thakare, sir. Now I would like to request all the participants, please ask your queries, your doubt. You go on interacting with our today's resource person.
Actually, I am sorry. I have taken 15 minutes extra.
It's all right. Meanwhile, you talk to
Okay,
the
sir. Yes,
uh,
sir. If any
attend the
participant,
queries.
yes, if anybody or any participants having certain genuine questions or maybe certain silly questions, okay, feel free to ask. Yes.
So you have given very nice example of Mendaleka village.
Thank you very much, madam.
In terms of prosperity, where we can see the India, sir.
Okay, madam. The answer is positive also, negative also. Okay, the prosperity of the nation will definitely come from individual. From individual, I am talking about the individual. If individual people, if he is not active, if he is not in a position to do something for his nation, okay, if he is born in India and if he is not doing the work, whatever work he is doing, something you have to contribute something you just contribute something, basically it will definitely bring prosperity to our nation. This is the simple answer for that.
Thank you, sir. We'll definitely do something for it.
Definitely. Thank you. Okay, anybody? Anybody, you can ask, no problem at all. I am here to answer all those queries.
Sir, एक query और थी.
Yes.
Sir, aspiration about the law, what is mean by that?
Aspirations about the law. So aspirations about the law means what will happen. I am talking not only talking about our country. See, I am taking this particular topic with respect to the all the nations of the world. All the nations of the world means people they are living in on this planet Earth. Basically, they are actually abide by the laws and regulation correctly. But for better living, basically, for better living and for prosperity, they require additional certain facilities, maybe in terms of monetary, okay, maybe in terms of the cultural, maybe in terms of certain scientific, anything can be there. So their aspirations are very much high, and that is beyond their law. They require that facility beyond that law, but it doesn't mean that they are doing certain crime, they are doing certain sin that is against the or that is interfering with the development of the nation. Okay, that is not the meaning of that aspiration. Try to keep in mind.
Yes, got it, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Sir, I have one question.
What's your
s-
name, sir?
Vishal Davlatkar,
Okay, from which college you are belonging?
Art Commerce College, Ralegaon, District
Rade.
Yavatmal,
Your fine. Okay,
Ralegaon.
okay, okay, sir. Thank you very much. You just ask your question.
Sir, can I speak in Marathi?
Uh,
Yes,
I
yes,
think yes, you can speak, but if I will give your I will give an answer in English because some participant the Meshram sir he was
Okay, sir. Okay,
yes.
I will understand.
Okay.
सर, हे जे मेंढालेखाचा जो प्रयोग झाला आहे, तसाच प्रयोग जर म्हणजे लोकल लेवल एन्व्हायरमेंटच्या रक्षणासाठी लोकल लेवलच्या अथॉरिटीकडे जर तशी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दिली तर चांगलं
Yes.
होईल का?
Correct. Authority is already given. See, authority is already given to all the people of India by the government of India. What is that authority? You can form your NGOs. What is the meaning of NGO? Non-governmental organization. And you can mention there the various tasks which you want to do for your nation, for your city, or for your village. Basically, and you go on doing the things. Nobody will interfere you. Nobody will interfere you not to do that thing. You are free to do that thing, sir. No problem at all.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, anybody? Otherwise, Meshram sir is there. Okay. Any participant, you can ask question. I am here to answer you. No problem at all. But with the kind permission of Dr. Meshram sir.
अजून कोणाला काही विचारायचं असेल विचारा. यू कॅन स्पीक इन एनी लँग्वेज. लँग्वेज शुड नॉट बी द बॅरियर. डॉक्टर अमित काही विचारायचं विचारा.
हा सर, माझा आवाज येतोय का?
Yes, yes. Yes, we can hear.
सर, मराठीत विचारतोय.
हो, चालेल चालेल चालेल.
सर, जे आपण म्हणतोय की इन सस्टेनेबल डेव्हलपमेंट वी शुड रिस्ट्रिक्ट द हंगर, म्हणजे आपण जे हे होत आहे ऍक्च्युली जे डिफॉरेस्टेशन म्हणा किंवा अफॉरेस्टेशन, आणि याच्यावरून जे ऍग्रिकल्चर लँड जी कमी होत आहे सर, ऍग्रिकल्चर लँड जी कमी होत आहे त्याचं ऍक्च्युली काय म्हणजे फ्युचर राहील? कारण की दिवसेंदिवस आपण मोस्ट ऑफ द म्हणजे सिटीज वाढत आहेत, सिटीजच्या बाउंड्रीज वाढत आहे, आणि जेव्हा सिटीजच्या बाउंड्री वाढत आहेत ते ऍग्रिकल्चर लँड मध्ये म्हणजे दॅट इट इज गेटिंग कन्वर्टेड इन टू नॉन ऍग्रिकल्चर लँड, मग ते पुन्हा ऍक्च्युली सिटीच्या आतमध्ये येतात. तर याचं काय फ्युचर मध्ये सर असू शकतं, की म्हणजे काय सोल्युशन असू शकतो की ज्याच्यामुळे प्रोडक्टिव्हिटी ऑफ क्रॉप्स आणि म्हणजे हंगर म्हणजे जी हे आहे उपासमारी नाही होणार?
Correct. Correct. Your question is we should not expand our agriculture. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So environmentally, and it's my personal opinion, if you see the New York City, if you see the Bombay city, and you just observe the village or certain small town, okay, the type of building you can see in that particular single building, so many people they are living, okay, and here there the space is occupied by the single space is occupied by the individual houses. If you think that your agricultural bed is expanding and you don't want to expand it or further, why you are not thinking that individual houses, see, I'm talking, listen carefully. If individual houses where we have built there, and so previously what could be the condition? The condition could be the agricultural land or the forest may be there before.
Yes, sir.
Before how? So why you are not considering your house as a place for the micro agricultural practices?
Yes, sir, obviously.
If you are considering, see, if your India area of the India is like that, and so many land is occupied by the houses, if you are making the policy or policy is not needed. Nobody will interfere you. If you are converting your house into a micro agricultural field, definitely what I am talking to you, is it a proper solution or not?
Yes.
Definitely we can do that. Okay.
This vertical
Yes.
farming
Yes.
is
Yes. Vertical farming. I'm talking about vertical farming.
yes, sir, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks. Yes, sir.
Okay, Dr. Mahendra Thakare. Now I would like to request Dr. Shikha Avasti. Please propose the formal vote of thanks for this very informative and valuable presentation.
Okay, sir. On behalf of UGC HRDC and our sir, it is my honor to deliver the vote of thanks to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Thakare sir. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Thakare sir for lucently explaining us about various aspects of sustainable development. You have explained goals of sustainable development, challenges and need of sustainable development, sustainable solution, and environmental components of sustainability. Lastly, you touched how to strengthen the resource basis for sustainable development and discussed various case studies. For example, Mandalika village, which are very interesting and motivating. We thoroughly enjoyed your presentation, sir. Thank you for your enlightening presentation. Again, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Praveen sir for arranging such an informative session for us. Lastly, I would like to thank all the participants for their active involvement throughout the session. Thank you all once again.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Shall I leave the meeting?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to all of you. Thanks once again.
So, hello, participants.